I was alone, and suddenly, I heard breathing behind me. At first, I froze, thinking it was just my imagination. I had come home late that night, the streets empty, the wind rattling the trees, and the faint hum of the city far away. I shut the front door behind me and leaned against it for a moment, letting out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. Everything was silent. Too silent. I shrugged, telling myself the house was settling. I took off my coat and shoes, walked into the living room, and the quiet made my skin crawl. That's when I heard it again, a slow, deliberate breath, shallow, almost casual, but unmistakably human, and it was behind me. I spun around, expecting to see someone, but there was nothing. The hallway was empty, the shadows of the dim light stretching long across the walls. I laughed nervously, telling myself I was tired. I went to the kitchen to grab a glass of water, every step echoing in the silent house. The wind pressed against the windows, whistling, and I thought maybe the house was playing tricks on me. Then the sound came again, closer, heavier, and my stomach turned. I froze, straining to hear, listening to that slow, deliberate breathing moving toward me. I grabbed a kitchen knife, my hands trembling, and stepped toward the living room. The air was cold, colder than it should have been, and I could see my breath in front of me. The lights flickered, once, twice, and the shadows in the corners seemed to twist and shift as if alive. The breathing stopped. Silence. I held my breath, waiting, but then a door creaked upstairs. My heart thumped in my chest. I shouldn't have gone up, I knew, but curiosity and fear pulled me forward. Step by step, I climbed the stairs, every floorboard moaning under my weight, and the air grew heavier, thicker, like it was watching me. The bedroom door was ajar. I could feel a chill crawling up my spine, and I whispered, "Hello." No answer. I stepped closer, the knife tight in my grip, and I could hear it again, right behind me. I turned, nothing. I thought maybe it was a neighbor's window open, or the wind, or maybe I was losing my mind. I shook my head and entered the bedroom. Everything was normal. The bed, the furniture, the shadows lying in corners as they always did. Then I heard it move, softly, deliberate, behind the wardrobe. My heart leapt, my throat dry. I slowly circled the room, knife ready, and when I looked behind the wardrobe, there was nothing. Just the darkness, waiting. I backed away, breathing fast, when the air shifted, and I felt it. A presence. Close. Too close. The sound of that slow, steady breathing filled my ears, each exhale like a warning. I turned on the flashlight on my phone. Nothing. The battery was almost dead, the light flickering across the room. And then I saw it, a shadow moving just beyond the edge of the beam, fleeting, quick. I raised my phone, heart hammering, and for a moment I thought I caught a glimpse of a face, pale, eyes dark, staring at me from the corner. I blinked, and it was gone. I ran down the stairs, not even caring about the creaking boards, my breath ragged. The front door was in sight, and I fumbled with the lock, my hands shaking, my ears straining. Then the breathing stopped. Silence. My chest heaved, my pulse pounding, and I told myself I was safe now. I stepped outside, locked the door behind me, and leaned against it, trembling, shivering. I could still hear it, faint, almost teasing, in my mind. I ran to my car, started the engine, and for a second I thought I saw a shadow in the window, watching me leave. Even when I drove away, I couldn't shake it. Every mirror in my car seemed to hold a dark shape, every passing tree's shadow looking too long and deliberate. That night, I didn't sleep. Every little sound made me jump. The wind, the pipes, my own breathing, all reminding me of that presence in my house. I checked my locks a dozen times. I even drove back slowly to my street, convinced maybe it had been a prank or someone hiding. But when I peeked through the window, the living room was empty, dark, normal. And yet, I felt it, watching me from inside, from somewhere unseen. Days went by, and the memory haunted me. At night, even with the lights on, I heard faint breathing, soft, close, teasing. I told myself it was nerves, paranoia, the mind playing tricks. But then I started noticing things. Doors left slightly open that I was sure I had closed, objects moved just a fraction of an inch, shadows lingering too long. I began checking corners of rooms obsessively, the kitchen, the living room, the stairs, always expecting that presence to appear. Sometimes, when the house was quiet, I swore I could hear footsteps pacing, slow, heavy, deliberate, echoing through the hallways. One night, I was trying to sleep, lights off, curtains drawn. I heard it again, the unmistakable breath, but this time it wasn't from behind. It was in front of me. From the hallway. I froze, heart hammering, every muscle tight. The sound grew louder, closer, and I could feel a cold pressure in the air, like the temperature dropped 10 degrees in an instant. I held my breath, barely daring to move. Then, a whisper. A single word, faint, like it had been right in my ear, "I'm here." I leapt from the bed, stumbled toward the door, and grabbed my phone. No signal. I tried calling anyone. Nothing. The breathing continued, circling, moving, every step perfectly timed with mine. It was mocking me. I ran down the stairs, out the front door, and slammed it behind me. I didn't stop. I drove to a friend's house and stayed the night, refusing to return. The next morning, I returned with someone. Everything was normal, just like always. No footprints, no signs of entry, no broken locks. The house looked empty, safe. I laughed nervously, pretending it was all in my head. But I knew better. That presence, whatever it was, had been in the house, and I could still feel it. Even now, weeks later, when I'm alone, I swear I can still hear it. A faint breath, almost teasing, almost casual, echoing behind me. I never turn around anymore. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and hear it moving in my hallway. Sometimes, when I walk through the kitchen, I catch a shadow out of the corner of my eye. And every time, I hear that same, slow, deliberate exhale, reminding me, warning me, it's still there. Watching. Waiting.